Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It is well, good evening. My fault. Good evening. It's another Wednesday, and we back. We back. We back. We back. We at it again. Me and Mister Joe over here, just coming to just have small talk, a little discussion to see where everybody had at. Plenty of us may have, or at some point in our life, we'll go through this situation. So we just want to bring it to the forefront. No answer is a wrong answer. Opinions are value here. Come on in with your opinion. Come on in with your suggestion. Whatever, just come on in and just kick it with us and conversate with us. We appreciate any and everybody who tune in any and every Wednesday. We truly, truly, truly appreciate it. So today we just gonna discuss basically um taking care of an elderly parent or choosing to stay with life, your personal life responsibility. Like, how do you make that decision? Because that's a tough decision. You could be in the same city as that parent or family member. The severity of the sickness or the illness, all that takes place. Or if you're in another state, sometimes older people they comfortable where they at. They don't want to move. They don't want to come where you at. You may don't want to come go where they at. So all that takes precedent when you are making a decision, a big decision to take on another human being, another life, especially if it's being your parent. Always say life is a circle. Your parents give you life, they take care of you, they raise you, they feed you, they clothe you when you sick, they nurture you back to health. They do all this stuff, but guess what? Then the cycle changes. They begin to get older, and guess what? Now they need somebody to feed them, nurture them, take care of them. So in that sense, how do you deal with it? Do you drop everything and run and say, okay, this is my mama, this is my grandma, this is my daddy? I gotta put everything on the back burner and do what I'm supposed to do as their child, as their grandchild. Or do you say, hey, I can't do it. So I'm gonna go the nursing home route. I'm gonna go with allowing another sibling to take on the responsibility. Or I'm gonna go with a family member taking on the responsibility. Like, how do you make that decision? Um, for quite some time, I have been following a young lady by the name of Hala, 97 years old, beautiful black soul. Hala, it was TikTok famous. Her grandchildren made her Instagram, Facebook famous. You could tell Hala, you could tell her she wasn't a celebrity. And so with Hala, her grandchildren was by her bedside every day. Hala was dealing with some form of cancer. So with Hala, once she did pass away, she passed peacefully in her sleep about a few days ago, maybe at the
Mhm.
beginning of this week. And her granddaughter came on. And her granddaughter said, I stopped my life. I quit my job. She said, I have a husband, I have children, but I put all of that on hold to make sure I was there for my grandmother, to make sure, she was comfortable her last days, to make sure whatever her wants and needs was, I was there for her. And so, in that sense, it's like, can you do the same thing? Is that on the table? Or how would you deal with that? I know I had to 2 years ago with my dad. Didn't know, got sick one day, went to the hospital, ran some tests, found out he had cancer. Him being in Michigan, I'm being in Georgia. Had to run back and forth for a minute, run back and forth. But when it got serious and I knew he wasn't coming out the hospital, I stopped everything. I had a child in school. No, two at the time. Two kids in school at the time. One was disciplined. So, of course, and her father was in Michigan. So, of course, I was able to take her with me. She was able to get on her laptop and do school at her dad's house. The other one Not very much so. So I left her here with her dad and stepmom at the time. Um, married myself, but he was, he understanding in that sense. So I had a job, working full time, all that. Took FMLA, went home, stayed with my daddy for those 2 months. I want to say, stay with him two months every day until he took his last breath. So that was the decision that I made. My mother, I didn't get to make that decision with her. Hey, brother, I didn't get to make that decision with her. She made her choice that she didn't want to put that burden on her family, so she decided to place herself into a care facility. As I'm older now, I'm kind of, was in my feelings about it. Like, man, why you ain't let us? But we was young then. I was 5 when she went in, so it wasn't a decision, for me to make. But I wish, I had that option. Even as I got older, to say, hey, can we, pull her out? Can we bring her home? Can we, take her? I didn't have that option. So I'm just putting it out there. Like, what would you do? Like, would you drop everything and take care of your mother, father, grandparent, aunt, uncle, if need be? Or would you say, man, I can't do it. I need to put him in the nursing home. Hey, Miss India. It's like, man, that's a tough decision because it's a lot of rearranging of your life. How do you create balance in that situation? If you take that step, how do you create balance, work life balance, along with taking care of another person? Because sometimes it can get stressful, sometimes it can be overwhelming. But in that situation, you have to learn how to find peace, patience, take time out for yourself, create a schedule. It's like, so, create a contingency plan. Make sure that person business is in order, financial business, insurance business. You have to make sure, it's so much that comes along with that. But so you also have to feel like, am I that strong will? Can I step forth and do that? Would I make this person proud? Would I fail? So it's a lot. So it's like, I
Uh,
don't know.
Man, I've been sitting over here letting you unpack it, but um, I think it's an ultimate sacrifice for a child to be there for their parents or be there for a loved one, grandparents, you know, um, it's a delicate balance. Like you said, you have to understand that it's not built for everyone and everyone can't handle that pressure. And you have to understand that sometimes people will say, oh, no, I wouldn't do that. You never know what you would do when you're faced with that situation. Excuse me, because like you say, it's the cycle of life. That's that circle going to come 360. It's going to make that circle complete. It's got to go 360 degrees to be complete. So
Mhm.
you're gonna have to circle that axis and understand that you may be faced with that decision. You may be faced with that and that's a life altering decision. Um, a good friend of mine said basically some of the similarities what you said. Do you put your life on pause to take care of those loved ones? Some people, it's an easy adjustment. Hey, this all I got. I'm out. No matter if in the same state, different state. Hey, I'm out. Oop, going to be one parent. Very understandable, commendable. You know what I'm saying? But you got something that's like, hey, I got my own family. I got this going on. I can't take on that added responsibility. Or I don't want to take on that added responsibility. So it's kind of like I say, it's that scale. You have to juggle it. But at the end of the day, I think that person has to be able to live with the decision that he or she may have to make. Because it's easy to say, no, they'll be all right. No, I mean, because something in the back of your mind, could I have done more? Like I say, 97, my mother passed. Um, I think if my time, let me get my head together. I I went to Florida for like a year and a half. Went back to Florida for a year and a half. My mother was in Georgia. Man, it was like I felt I had like an empty space.
Mm-hmm.
It was real empty. So it was like, man, let me go back to my mama. You know, health was declining at a rapid pace. So it's like, man, let me go be back around there with my mama. You know, just that's my mama. That's all I've known since I came on the face of this earth. So it was me and mama for a long time. Then my brother and sister came along. Then it's like, but you have to. It is something about that motherly love. Is something about that. You know, for girls, like they say, their dads are their first love. So it's a bond that you don't even realize is there. But you should realize it's there because genetically, that's how you was formed and that's how you was made. So you know, it's a delicate situation, man. I mean, you know, after my mom died, went back to Florida, ended up coming back to Georgia, just to be around my grandparents. Man, okay, after that, all I know now, I got my grandma. You know, my grandma, they know they health, they getting up there. They not as old, but they, you know, a few little health issues, you know, and it's like, ooh, I need to go back there and be with them, you know, because I have the broad shoulders. I can help them out as much as I can. I got my license, so if they need to go to doctor's appointments, they need to go out of town here, they need to go there. I got them. Grandma, granddad, I got y'all. You ride with me. So I just think, man, it's the decisions that you have to make in life. And if it's you singular, I think the burden is kind of more intensified compared to you having siblings, because that's when you got a backbone to say, hey, y'all, we need to come together. We need to make the best decision for mom, dad, granddad, grandma, auntie, uncle, whoever. It has to be a decision that's made that's beneficial for all parties. It can't be a selfish act or an act of I don't want to deal with it. No, if you my family, hey, Miss Thomas, and we should be able to come together and make a family decision, make an educated decision on how we're going to move forward with this. And then on the other side of the spectrum, like I say, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know we keep it all the way 100. You got some people that just ain't gonna deal with it. No, I don't want to deal with it. I'm not doing this. I'm not stopping my life. Hey, put them over here in a nursing home. Hey, and that's it. And I think you lose some value. And like I say, this is just my opinion. This is not knocking anybody's way of life, way of thinking. This is my opinion. I think you lose some value when you do that. It's easy to just shove someone in a facility. Now, granted, understand, hear me out. By all means, if it's the last result and it's no other, you don't got all X, you don't got an opinion from this doctor, that doctor, that doctor. You don't got multiple opinions that there's really nothing you can do, nothing is going to be beneficial for that person standing at home.
Then you have to do something.
Then you got to do something. But just to automatically, something happened to me and my kids say, oh, we throwing dad over here in this nursing home and we gonna just let him have his Jello pudding and we'll go by every 8 months to see him. No, you lose value because that person is in an isolated situation. They really don't know the environment they go in. They really may not know what's going on. And they're looking for that love and affection from a family member. So it's kind of twofold. Like I say, a lot of folks have been faced with it. A lot of folks may be out there listening that you may be faced with it one day where you have to make that decision. All I can say is make the most educated decision for you. And if you have a family, for your family. If you have siblings, y'all sit down and leave all the bull crap out, because you know how we do. When I say us, I'm talking, I'll be talking about our people, even though we have a lot of demographics in our audience. Our people, you know how we start getting, well, where the money coming from, and well, this check need to come here, and I need this amount of money. Man, cut all that out. Because if it was you would want somebody to have enough respect for you to say, you know what, let's find the best care for me to make sure that however much time I have left on this earth is as enjoyable and as peaceful as possible. Leave the BS out of it. And understand that you could be fine today and something happen to you tomorrow. It's sacrifices. I mean, I think that's the key word that's going to probably resonate all night long. It's the sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean,
People.
we in our mid-40s, something can happen to our kids, and we got to make that adjustment, thinking that they'll take care of us, but we got to take care of them. So it's that balance, man. And I tell people all the time, you never know the moment of the hour. You never know the situation. You never know how something of this magnitude can impact you. Because yes, you could be living your best life, traveling all over the world, state to state, city to city. In an instant of something that happens of this nature, you got to make that on the spot decision. Oh man, I got to put my career on pause. Like you said, understandably, FMLA is out there these days. So for y'all that's out there that may be in this situation or facing this situation, hey man, know your company policies, talk to your HR professionals, because there is limitations and there's resources within your job security if that's holding you back. If it's a monetary issue, you got to do what's best for you and the family. If it's going to pull your emergency savings, it's going to pull everything you got because the individual, the loved one that you're caring for, don't have the resources, or you got to apply for the resources. Go ahead and start taking those steps. Power of attorney. We all know you can't do nothing without a power of attorney. You can word of mouth all day long, wordsmith. Hey, I'm the caretaker for Joe and such and such and such, and I'm the caretaker for Crystal. It means a hill of beans if you don't have a power of attorney. You can go talk all day long. Medical consents gotta be on there. All this stuff is just at the educational part of it, and you're looking at two people that's been on that road. Now, I mean, after my mom got sick, I was at an age I couldn't make decisions, but I had my grandmother, I had my granddad, I had my aunts and uncles that's making the best decision. Luckily, we never had to put in a home or anything, but I mean, you're gonna get faced with it. It's gonna hit you. I mean, we all know our parents getting up in age. They getting up there, so it may become a day that you got to make the decision because, and I think the other part that a lot of folks miss is pre-planning. Talking to your parents, talking to your aunts, your uncles, whoever, your grandparents, as they start climbing that mountain is not going reverse with the age. So that age is going up. It's not going backwards. Mm-hmm. Ain't no Benjamin Button out there. I like to throw a little twist to get everybody laughing. Ain't no Benjamin Button. But right. Start having those conversations, and we always run from them. And Aunt Sally gonna be here, Uncle John gonna be here forever. Hey, know where stuff at. Ask them their wishes while they're in their right mind. Hey, if I get too bad off, I want y'all to put me in this facility. Don't put me over here in touch and go nursing 101. Put
right.
me
research.
Yeah, put me somewhere that's gonna enhance the quality of life that I have left on this earth, and go from there.
Yeah, and as you know, it's also adult daycares out there. I've met people here, being that I will soon be opening my own personal care home. I've also spoke with people who say, you know what, I know people who want to travel or go out of town. You know what, I'll charge you so much, and they'll stay in my home, and I'll care for them. And then once you come back, then they'll come back, home. So like I say, you have your adult daycares. Like, do your research. When I first got in the healthcare field, I worked at a nursing home for maybe a month. I worked one, and you had your staff. Some of them was good, some of them was up, but was there for really the love of the people that was there. Took good care of them. But then you had some who was, nasty. Talk to them any kind of way, or just being there, you feeling sorry for the people too, because they ain't had nobody to come visit them. It's just like you put them in there, and then they leave them, they forget about them. But something happened to them, they there to collect the benefits or what's owed to the family or whatever. But like I say, it's a huge situation, and you gotta have that ask for support. Have that support system. And like you said, if it's more than one sibling, spread it out. Hey, you get grandma, you get my dad for a month, or you come in for a month, you do that, and we'll rotate months. That way, everybody getting their fair share, and that person is still being able to see everybody and know that, hey, oh, I'm loved. You know, I'm loved. Everybody, you know, coming to see me. Everybody thinking about me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we see it all the time. A lot of shows give us the blueprint, if you look at it that way, for the good, the bad, and the in between. Because we all done seen shows where it's big mama, whoever, mom that moving in with me, or you get the shows where they just throw somebody off throw them off into the sunset. Oh, they'll go out there, what they say, let them go out there in the pastures and let them just graze and forget all about them. But like I said, would you want somebody to do that to you? Would you want that kind of lifestyle? And knowing that along the way, our parents, no matter how contingent, how the strain, how great, how semi-great, how bad the relationship may have been, but at the end of the day, that's still your parents, or that's still somebody that showed you love, and you got to return. You have to return it. You have
Yeah.
to return it. I don't care if you fell out, just mad for no reason, or oh, my mama didn't do this, my dad didn't do that. Understand, at the time they probably was doing the best they could do. And that's the part we can't get away from. That part, always going back. Well, I didn't have this coming up. You had enough. You had enough. So if you're in a better position than where you was coming up, hey man, pat yourself on the back and keep trucking and say, you know what? Life threw me some lemons, as they would say, but I made lemonade out of it. For some folks, I got some real sweet lemonade for you. So it's just that understanding. It's that life, like we say, when life talks. That's a primary example, because life gonna talk to you.
Oh
Life
yeah.
talk to you, it talk to you every day. You may not want to hear the whispers. You may not want to indulge in it, but man, it's talking to you every day. We see it every day.
Oh yeah.
And unless you just put your blinders up and like, oh, I'm not looking at, man, life come at you, and then it come quick.
And sometimes it come in twos. It come
Hmm.
in threes. It just sometimes it's a pile up of different things, but
Hmm.
you just got to know how to just take a breath and reset. But like I say, I done been down that road, and like you say, it depends on the health. It depends on the illness. It depends on the sickness. Some like you said earlier. Sometimes the doctor say, you know what, you can't take him or her home. They have to go to a facility
Hmm.
because this facility is gonna have the treatment that they need. Y'all can't keep
Hmm.
doing stuff that it may need a nurse a nurse to do. And just having a nurse come in so many hours a day ain't enough. You need 24-hour, care. Like with my daddy, like I say, he had cancer. We go in there, sit with him every day, trach need cleaning, uh, turning them, fanning them, lifting the pillow, bathing them. You have to do all that stuff. And when I was like, oh, Crystal and Carly, y'all gonna bathe me?
Hmm.
Like, Daddy,
Hey.
you don't want to see your but he like, at this point, I don't even care because I know y'all gonna do right by me.
Hmm.
Better doctors and nurses gonna do me.
Hey, and the same here. Ma'am, I don't know if I ever shared this. I think you know, but I'm saying it's my first time sharing it with the world. And for the ones that know me, know me. Hey, my mom passed of AIDS in the height when everybody was
Mm-hmm.
uneducated. But guess what? That didn't stop me. Me and my little sister, just my mama baby, we just talked. She ain't no baby no more. She 30 plus years old now. We talked about it the other day. She was like, bro, you remember when I was little and I wasn't supposed to go in there? But mama had an accident on herself and I went in there and cleaned mama up. Now, she's the baby of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so, hey, you never know. And you never know. And that hit us. That's my mama.
Yeah.
It's what you need. So I mean, it puts you in those situations. Here I am, a teenager, but that's my mama.
Yeah.
So am I gonna be hands off? No, I ain't gonna be hands off. Hey, at the end of the day, I don't care what y'all say, or well, you got to be careful. That's my mama.
Yeah, you jump in. You jump in at it. I mean, it's fight or flight when it comes to a family member. It's like, oh, that's feces. It's like, oh, you ain't caring about that. You jumping in there, gloves, no gloves, cleaning up. Well, my daughter, father, my oldest daughter, father, had lymphoma, a rare blood cancer. The cancer was eating his face. We didn't care if she was going there and hug and kiss our daddy, but them doctors and nurses, they coming in,
Mm-hmm.
like it was like he was a COVID patient. But we in there because it was love.
I can tell.
We went on and jumped in there. What you need done?
Living testimony. Like we tell y'all, man, we ain't gonna sit here and talk to y'all and we ain't been through it. Now what I'm saying was 93. Think about it now. Oh, the world, Magic Johnson come out 92. The world's, oh, what is this? I'm talking about 92. Now I'm talking about 93, 94, 95, 96. Well, it wasn't like it is today. The technology wasn't there. I'm a teenager. I jumped in hands first. That's my mama. It ain't a darn thing nobody could tell me.
Right.
Family members or not.
Mm-hmm.
To this day. I mean, they probably look back now and say, boy, that boy, so yeah, they know I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking the straight gospel.
Yeah. And how you treat people too. Going off. Anything happens to any one of my family members, they know I'm on a flight or I'm in the car coming to wherever they at.
Mm-hmm.
All they got to say the word. When I had my health scare, everybody and their mama was on the highway coming.
Yeah.
Flying. If they weren't coming, they was no. My phone was ringing. You good? You okay? You okay? But that just shows how you treat people, how you do right by people. How you reciprocate that same energy is how people, will treat you. Like I always tell my kids, and we talk about my oldest too. Y'all don't put me in no home.
Hey, I tell mine that all the time, but that young boy of mine, I gotta watch him. I gotta keep my eye on him. He might, oh, we're gonna just put dad on over here. No, that my little fella though. That my right hand though. But no, man, it is like you say, it's fight or flight, man. And my little cousin, we were talking about that a couple months ago. He said, cuz anytime something come up with the family, you always there. Hey man, I'm a reciprocator because guess what? One day I may be in position. Well, I need them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and we cousins, but hey, look, hey, no, we can't leave cousin Joe over there like that. No, you pay it forward because one day you may need, and you may find yourself in that situation. Like I say, and we talk about all the time, man, we do any and everything under the sun we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the stuff just be plain dumb. Like, why are we even doing this? But when it comes to something serious, when it comes to them life-altering, them life-changing moments.
Yeah.
Sitting back, being that one that sit back, well, let me see what everybody else do.
Right. We have to educate ourselves, like you said. Like you said earlier. What is it called? Power of attorney. Getting the business in order. Why they in their right state of mind if they dementia or Alzheimer's patients, once and they're in their right state of mind. Who do you want to be over this? Let's get this a living will and testimony.
Mm-hmm.
you know, let's what you want to do, because if that time come and you're no longer here, I don't want to have to explain to somebody, well, I've been taking care of XYZ this whole time and they said I'm entitled, you know.
Mhm.
And but you got the other children or the other, family members who feel like they entitled to whatever. So I just feel like, get that in place, get that in order. It's never too early, it's never too late. When we was in the military, we had to have one. I
Mhm.
get one. Hey, Miss Joy.
Hey, what up, Joy? Hey, then I'm gonna spin it a little deeper, man. You know, most times on a Friday, I'm feeling, I'm going to fill my vehicles up. Have you a vehicle that is road ready? My dad used to be easy. He always talked about it. Granddad was the same way. Have a vehicle that's road ready, because you never know when you need to jump in your vehicle and go somewhere. So that means have you a little bit of cash to the side, have you a little bit of credit card with a little bit of room on it. You can't have a $500 credit card and you ain't got but $100 wiggle room. That ain't gonna get you too far. Those emergency funds, your vehicle maintenance is important, because you never know, situation happen that requires your attention in another state, another city. That's drivable. I'm not saying wake up and try to go across country to California. No, but have, if it's something that a state that you can reach in a fair amount of time, have your vehicle that's road ready. That means your tires, that means your oil, that means your gas, that means I'm finna pack me an overnight bag, pack me a little boogie bag. I'm going to get this situation my attention. We don't think about those things. When it
Right.
happens, it's a scramble. It shouldn't be a scramble. It should be a moment to be calm. Okay. Whoop. Uncle Joe over here in the hospital. The family, he good. We just want to check on him. All right, y'all. I'm grabbing the bag. I'll see y'all the next day. See y'all later on. We
Right.
don't we don't we don't think about that. But like I say, we do all the other things in the world that have no kind of base ground common sense, and we'll rip and run and do it. Emergency funds is a part of this conversation we're talking about. It's reality. It's
Yeah.
reality. Like I said, in 2023, we gonna bring some of that reality stuff back full circle, so you understanding when life talk to you. It's not a moment where we gonna get on here and cut up too, but it's a moment of, man, just having it's these difficult conversations that we talk about in private, but we never act on it.
Right.
So
And you
you
got
know,
to too.
yes. So
Just
y'all like that, man, tap in with us. We don't ran up on that half hour real quick. Y'all know, like, subscribe, share Thought Magazine. Hey, we just get the flowing and time get the moving, but
right.
these conversations have to be had, because we always hear it. Man, we couldn't get there. I ain't got nothing to contribute. And like I say, it don't have to be monetary. A little bit of time, a little bit of effort, a little bit of compassion, a little bit of caring, a little bit of attention to detail. Man, that stuff go a long way.
Right.
It go a long way. But we like you say, we always, well, I don't want to be the first one. I'm gonna see what they do. And we all guilty of it. Like I say, we ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh, we saint. No, we guilty of it. You want to sit there, okay. But it's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time and a place for everything.
And like you said, we coming up on it. We are at that halfway mark. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all could have been doing anything else, but y'all chose to tune in with us. Like, share, comment, voice your opinion. For those who just coming in, we are just discussing. What's up, Will? We see, fam. We just discussing just basically what decision will you make when it come down to it? Will you jump in and take care of that parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, or will you say no? I got to choose life because the type of job I have, if I walk
What up?
away,
What up?
I can't. How I'm gonna pay my rent, how I'm gonna pay my light bills, or if I'm in a different, if I'm in a different city, state, should I say, are they willing to come where I'm at?
And two, you just touched on something. I think we might be on this for a minute. This last 30 minutes of the segment, because it just resonated with me.
Mm-hmm.
If you got a partner, spouse, significant other, whatever title you and that whichever situation, that person has to be understanding in these moments of distress.
Oh yeah, gotta be on board.
Hey, Miss Copeland, how you doing out there? Thank you for joining in. That person has to be on board, because the worst thing that can happen, hey, I'm going to check on my mama. I'm going to check on my daddy. I'm going to check on a family member. I'm going to check on grandma, granddaddy. And that person sit there and poke their doggone lip out. Yes, I just said doggone. It's going to cause the clash of the titans. Y'all know I'm gonna keep it PG. Y'all know I want to say a bad word, but I'm gonna be nice. Man, that's gonna cause so much friction, and we see that mess too.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you fighting with your significant other when he or she is trying to take care or want to go be there for a loved one? Hey, man, them people was there before you came into the picture.
Yeah. Yep, but like Bill say, the baby will rob and pull right now to my cousins over who my power attorney is. Yeah, I think that's a conversation all of y'all should get with auntie and make that decision. And the most responsible one should be it. Or she could say, hey, I believe that this person is more responsible in this area. I believe this person is more responsible in that area. And y'all just all come together as a collective and say, okay, well, I got this, I got the financial aspect of it. I'm more knowledgeable on the health side of it. So I got this area, and I'm more knowledgeable on this side, which is the planning area. So if everybody bring a little piece to the pie, to the table, what it is, it'll all flow and work out, how it should be.
And second point, don't be that person that's sitting over there all about greed, all about what you think gonna come to you. Nothing grinds my Greek gears worse than that, man. Like, do it out of love, do it out of compassion, do it out of the right thing to do.
Right. I'm teasing them. My already appointed. This is that serious and important. Yep, most definitely important and serious. It was crazy. Like, back again to my situation. My daddy had a whole wife, and not to play her or whatever, but when it came down to it, that wasn't her strong suit. She couldn't stand to see him in that situation, even though he looked like himself. As y'all know, some cancers can get you down to skin and bones. You'll be looking like a skeleton. Some cancers do that, but his particular cancer, lung cancer, it didn't do him like that. So I had to be the one, even though I'm the baby of the bunch. So I had three. My brother was incarcerated at the time. My two other siblings was in Grand Rapids. But me and my sister Carla was there. She was older than me. But because I was more knowledgeable on the healthcare side, I was able to make all the decisions for him. His care, surgeries. What kind of medicine are y'all giving him? I was able to, what I'm saying, dictate all of that and then report back to my family in a way that they can understand it. So, like I say, if everybody is knowledgeable in a certain area or more responsible in this area than the other area, and then it'll all work out. And in our situation, it did. Nobody, questioned my decisions I made for him, which was the best decisions, and he also agreed. Like I said, we took care of him. The nurses so bold. Oh, you can die tomorrow. Or you can have one day. You ain't gonna have no month. You might have a couple of weeks. They be so bold with it. So they be needing you, special in that kind of sickness. They be needing you to be, come in and be supportive.
what you say all the time, man. Speak life into people.
You got to, even in the bad situation, speak life. Because even when they came in and said, "Oh, it's only gonna be, you might have 1, 2 days, you might have a week," we will come and say, "You know what? God has the final say. When you know when you tired, keep fighting if you want to." And
Mm-hmm.
that will put a smile on his face, and he'll be like, "Okay," like Mike Tyson, I'm ready. I'm ready for another day. I'm ready for another fight. Until he finally said, "I'm tired." I said, "Wait, I ain't even gotta ask you if you all right with the man above."
Mm-hmm.
Cause like I say, if y'all get my book, read my book, the, through the chords of his guitar. When I tell you he was a proverb man, he was a man that knew that Bible inside and out, that eat, slept, and breathe the Bible, live by every word in it. And so when he was ready, when God said he was ready, he went. But it was so crazy that he said, "I'm not going nowhere unless y'all here."
Mm-hmm.
And I had to grab my sister from Detroit and my cousins, them, got us because she had to drop her car off back home in Arizona. So she flew back. And so on the way back, that's when we got the nurse say, we called to check on the nurse. Said, "Okay, yeah, he ain't doing too, I'm gonna let him know y'all called to check on him." She called us right back and said, "Okay, he ain't doing good. Get everybody in here." So of course we're an hour and a half away. We rush him. I got my cousin doing 100. I'm like, "If you get the ticket, cuz I got you."
Mm-hmm.
We get there by the grace of God. He ain't let no police stop us. Nothing happen. We get there. I said, "Daddy, I'm here." My sister say, "I'm here, Daddy." He looked up. Oh, he was good to go. He went to, my daddy played the guitar, so he plays gospel music. Him, in his mind, he's singing, but he playing the keys. You can see his fingers like he playing the keys.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, and when I say all the family, his sisters, his wife finally came, his stepkids came. But guess what? The moment they left,
Mm-hmm.
it cleared that room.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody but me, Carla, and my Aunt Delina. An hour later, he went on and took his last breath. So that's why I say hey, when they know they got love around them, when they know they got that support, man, it means a lot to them. Bill said sometimes we don't want to hear them doctors, but when they sugarcoat, we get upset. God's plan versus man's knowledge. Faith over fear. Had to know fear to apply faith. Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Time we hear it. We can regret, we be in denial.
absolutely. Hey, I'm the same way. I mean, I tell the story like it was yesterday. I went to the hospital, checked on my mom. It was probably about 7:30 that evening. The nurse asked her, "You know who that is?" She said, "That's my son Joe." Clock strike midnight. Late on 4 that morning. The next day, my mama gone.
Mm-hmm.
They be
Yeah.
no man. They be knowing. Like I say,
And they ain't gonna go until they
yeah.
love love.
Sharp as a tack on her last day, but deathbed. She knew who her son was. I mean, so a lot of times, man, people sit there and understand and say, well, no, they be knowing, man. Like I say, whatever your faith is, whatever you believe in, it's a
Mm-hmm.
supreme being out there. Because they be knowing, like I say, they understand, and like Crystal say, they not gonna go till they see who they want to see.
And if you fear that they gonna go, they won't go in front of you.
No,
I've experienced that too.
no.
And
So like I say, this topic, we got the flowing with it, but it's just resonating on when you have to make those difficult decisions, when you
mm-hmm.
have to put your life on pause, when you have to understand that there may be a time and moment where it's like, oops, hey, I need to go check on such and such. Don't be one of the ones that hesitate. If somebody's on your mind, or if it's a loved one or a family member that you hadn't seen in a while, man, go check up on them.
Yeah, and even if that parent haven't been a good parent, sometime in that time of need, they're gonna need you.
And
So
let and I know yeah, but and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be quiet. Don't let that stop you. There's a lot of folks out here. My mama did this, my daddy did that when I was younger. Hey man, at the end of the day, y'all, I'm gonna lean into the camera a little bit. You get one mama and one daddy.
mm-hmm.
And that's not knocking, as they would say, the bonus parents you get these days, stepmom, stepdad. They gonna love you to the best of their abilities. But it's only one mom and one dad that
Mm-hmm.
commits to the bringing you into this world. So don't hold them grudges. Hey, if you doggone 30, 40, 50, still mad, what you mad for? Be thankful they was able to provide you with what they had to the best of their abilities. Be thankful for where you at and look back and say, you know what? They gave it their best shot. Because you don't know what they was going through. Times was, we in our mid-40s. Times was hard.
Yeah, times was different. Times was, different than, kids growing up now. Very much different. So
And when you think about it, because I was having a conversation just the other day. What our parents seen was our grandparents coming out of slavery. But people don't like to connect that. Because we talking about most of our parents was born the 40s and the 50s. Use this before you be so quick to condemn your parents. So they only saw what they saw from their parents to instill in us and to raise us. So think about it. I ain't gonna preach to y'all tonight, but just think about that before
yeah,
you.
and every parent is not meant to be a parent. Okay, Mr. Bill said, can't blame environment or people from grown up choices. Life ain't easy. Look at us. Most definitely. Miss Pooh said, I agree. Hate to see people holding grudges with their parents because when they're gone, that's it. They're not coming back. Exactly.
Man, let it go.
You got
I
to.
I promise you, you will be at a better place.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you have to. When my Bill said when my pops died, I was in prison, and a lot of people reached out and mended relationships. Yep, yep. No, I know about it. Yeah, my daddy wasn't out. My daddy wasn't a good daddy. I can say that. He wasn't, prominent in my life, but he
Mm-hmm.
was my daddy. And so I was that, well, at first I used to be like, well, he ain't reaching out, I ain't reaching out. But it took for my grandma to say, that's still your daddy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you reach out once a week, once a month, still reach out and and check in even if he don't. So I did that. And so when it took a time for him getting sick, when I got there, when the first time, he said, I talked to him on the phone, you all right? You in the hospital? Blah, blah. I get down there, he said, I knew you was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, you better know it. That's my twin. I said, yeah, you better
Hey,
know it's coming. I don't care what relationship we had. I'm going to make sure if this your last time seeing me, if this is our last conversation, I'm going to make sure you go peacefully with a smile on your face, knowing that even though wasn't a parent to my child, she still came when
mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
I tell people that those 2.5 months was the best 2.5 months of my life, knowing, with my daddy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and when you look at it, it made him whole.
Oh yeah.
Because you know them old folk, and I tell you, man, I always listen to my elders. I say I had my little crews and folks I ran with, but I was always getting that knowledge from them elders. Them old folks be knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Just like your grandma told you, go see your daddy. They be knowing, and a lot of us, we'll shun it off. No, them old folks are walking encyclopedias of knowledge and wisdom. Don't ever discount that. They be knowing.
Yep.
Because man, some of the knowledge I done got, like I say, I ain't always been nice. Man. But man, your aunts and folks and your uncles talking to you and them old heads putting that knowledge in you, it changed your projection and trajectory on life.
Yeah.
And I know my uncle, he out there watching. I'm still getting reports. I'm going to sneak up on you. You gotta take care of your health. They know I'll pop up on. They don't know when I'm coming. I just pop up.
Oh yeah, I'll get on my aunties. I fuss with her. But anybody, my cousins, young, old, aunties, uncles, anything happen to any of them, I'm on the way. Because you got to think, when we grew up in our time, we grew up as it wasn't cousins. Everybody grew up like sisters and brothers. We was all, all at grandma's house, all, going with my aunt, Uncle Pokey and my Aunt Wonder, going, they had to get the kids, taking some trips. And my uncle was a youth pastor. So we did all that. We did the rallies, the walks. I mean, we did everything as a unit. But now, of course, everybody grown, spread it out. But that's what we was. We had that brother and sister. So I still have that same mentality. And like I said, if anything happens to either one, they better know Chris way. And that's why I'm so far. 12 hours is far, but not far. Hour 45 on the flight. Basically 11 hours drive.
I don't see you rubbing down that road. I'm like, whoa, boy, I thought I was a road warrior. Good God. But that's what family about.
Yep, Miss Joy saying this generation doesn't know anything about a unit. It's all divided. Yep, it's all divided.
But we spoke on that a few episode or two ago. It's on us that's in that bracket, that age group now to bring it back. Because if we don't bring it back on our platforms and where we at, we're the last generation that know, when you look at it, that knows what our grandparents instilled in us. You know what I'm saying? Division got to stop. And you're right. Until we learn to come to the table together and say, you know what, it's not a competition. Number one, it should have never been a competition, because you're supposed to do everything based on love. So the competition, the egos, the bull crap, like I say, I'm gonna keep it PG. Let all that go. And it's them, like I say, we said it one of our first ever episodes. It's those simple conversations. Hey, look, I know such and such getting old. I know it's gonna happen. We see it. This is life. How do we fix it?
Right. Yeah, Bill just said, plot of the enemy, division. Divided we fall, together we stand corrected. Yep. And I would even start back doing, I know we kind of shifting, but we really not shifting, because it's all, coming together as a whole, whole piece when we pull our topic together. But yeah, just like family reunions. The older people who kept it going when we was younger, they want to pass the torch. But how can we, get it back on the track? I think that would bring show a more united front, and pull everybody together, because we have cousins younger cousins who don't know each other. And then we have to think about that. What if they grow up, they go to college, they end up at the same college, now they dating?
Somebody gonna be mad.
Yeah, and
they're gonna be real mad.
I thank God that I ain't never dated none of my cousins or, nobody on my daddy's side. But the crazy part is, because I didn't learn who my siblings was, me and my sister actually dated the same guy. My oldest daughter, father, we both, dated him. She had to get a test on one of her kids. So we would have had the same baby daddy.
Yep.
But To pull it on back to the topic, people, Miss Erica say people don't have family reunions like they used to. Nope, not at all. They kind of just dwindled away.
because we got to bring the tradition back.
Yep, yep. Miss Joy said, think about how me and my little cousin got introduced. She came and worked for me and started talking about our hometown. I had to call home. Yep. Yeah, there's so many instances like that. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Hey,
But
it's a few of y'all out there. If y'all got my last name, I probably ain't never met y'all day in my life, but the weekend, you know, you can look me up. I'm gonna go get that Dana. You're going to take some Dana tests. But yeah, I got a lot of folks I ain't never met. You know what I'm saying? Just being transparent. Just being transparent. Hey, I know who I know, but if you're out there and you carry my last name, I would love to meet you.
right.
I may not like you in the beginning, but y'all know how to play a little bit. No, but this topic here resonated, man. I hope it resonated with y'all. Definitely resonated with us. And like I say, man, we don't get on here and shoot you them fairy tales or that made up stuff. Hey man, we open up about our lives and open up about situations that we've been through. Hopefully that it'll resonate with you. So when you look at it, say, you know what, man, if I'm ever faced with that situation,
yeah, what would I do?
What would I do? Because life is gonna hit you. It's gonna happen.
Life gonna talk.
It's gonna talk to you. You may not like what it tell you. You may, oh no, I'm gonna do that another day. The next day ain't promised. So if you're out there and you in the situation and you got to make these decisions, like I say, if you had a little cliff note to leave with, have finances in order. Talk to your loved ones, talk to your mom, talk to your dad, talk to your granddad, grandparents, any of your loved ones. What are their wishes? Do they want to be in a facility? Do they don't want to be in a facility? If it get to the point where it's an understanding that they have to go to a facility, they're comfortable going in that facility. And as for you, don't just throw your loved one in a facility and forget about them. I think that's one thing that we tend to do.
Yeah,
ain't my problem no more. Whoop.
Then they go with depression because they feel, not loved.
Put your emergency fund away. Get your credit card. Well, if you got to make an emergency trip, you can do it. If you got to make a flight somewhere that's an emergency flight, you have the resources to do it. The worst thing you could do is be caught. Y'all know I'm got old school saying to get caught with your drawers down. Basically mean you can't do nothing. Your hands tied.
Exactly. Bill said, never take away choice. Definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta let them have their choice. As long as they have a sound mind, they have to have that choice. If you have a grandparent that's still alive, most of the time grandparents is they business gonna be in order. My grandmother's still alive at 96, and most definitely her business is in order.
Mm-hmm.
But still have a parent, have those conversations. A lot of people don't like to talk about death or illnesses or sicknesses that especially those ones that are life threatening. But you have to have that conversation. That's a difficult conversation. But hey, hey, Dad, do you have a will in place? Do you have a power of attorney? If something was to happen to you, what would you like me to handle? Where can I find? I don't want to have to something happen to you. Now I'm over there tearing your drawers and dresses up, trying to find your insurance policy, trying to find your will, trying to find your power of attorney, trying to find, your business to make sure your bills is still getting paid. So that's definitely a difficult conversation, but a conversation we had too as well. And even if you want to go a little further, I always laugh with my grandma. I said this, but she's 96. We went to a funeral, and the obituary was just all over the place. So she said, when I leave here, I think I might write my own obituary so y'all could just read it because.
and grandma mean that.
Yes.
I promise you she mean it.
And mean it. And I asked her, and when she said that, I waited a couple of months and I went back and I actually wrote out I actually asked her so many questions and wrote out a lot of stuff, and then I just stuck it in a drawer. So I said, even if she hasn't physically now said, "Hey, I want to write my own," I still have all the facts to say, okay, this is what she did. This is what she went to school at. So I still have all the facts. Miss Erica said, it is better to be prepared than not to be prepared.
Absolutely.
So my question is to you all: when that time comes, having living parents, if you do have sole grandparents, just be ready to make that difficult decision, or be ready to say, hey, if you get that call, your backpack and you gone.
And for y'all that's out there that's still on that dating scene and still out there pitching woo, make sure you dealing with somebody that got a little bit of common sense when it comes to these life factors, because it's gonna happen. The worst thing you could do is have a fool for a partner that don't understand, or they come from a family that they didn't even really deal with. Now you family oriented 101 is not gonna work. It's like oil and water.
Because they ain't gonna be supportive.
It won't work. But yeah, y'all, we coming up on that hour. We're a little bit over, but these conversations get good. We don't time is of the essence.
Yep, Joy said, now knowing me, I'm going to have a hard time because my people is very ignorant. Yep, and in that sense, sis,
you know what you do with them?
You already got to go ahead and do your power of attorney, your will. Go ahead and put everything in order. Okay, I know my daughters, I know they very well versed in financial responsibilities. Boom, I know my sons is knowledge in, healthcare. If they ain't knowledge, guess what? They gonna, whatever got going on, they gonna research it and they gonna make sure I'm good in whatever decision. So go ahead and start doing your appointing people, writing it down and appointing people and figuring out, okay, I know that business gonna get taken care of if something happens to me and I'm able to do so myself. Bill said, appreciate you all. Definitely love the topic and the connections. Most definitely, cuz.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all checking in with us. It is that time, man. Good conversation. When life talk, that's our title. That's what we go by. That's what we live by. And today, this topic really talks. Life talks, because I've been in that situation. Joe has been in that situation. And man, like we just gonna keep coming with these conversations. Like he said, we gonna have fun. We gonna laugh. We gonna have deep, difficult conversations. We gonna connect on some kind of level. We family now.
It's
our real families. So, my military family. But
if you a vet out there, if you a vet, we had a bad connection. But if you a vet, your DD-214 should be registered at your local's deeds, whatever county you live in. You need to have it registered.
Now that's something I need to do. You just put me.
All right. Yeah, hey y'all, man, we appreciate y'all. Y'all.
It's okay, Auntie.
Oh yeah, we got you.
Be in with us. It's okay.
Y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all chose to join us on this Wednesday night. Hey, when life talks, same time, same back channel, same everything. We're gonna be right back. Like I said, we kicking some doors down in 23.
Yeah,
we kicking some doors down. We're gonna talk about them conversations. We tell you all the time that we talk about in private, but we like to shy away from them. And when I say us, I'm talking about the ones that look like me and Crystal, because we the worst ones. We our worst enemies. But talk to your people. Love on your parents. Love on your elders. Love on your family members. Have those conversations. Hey, we love y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Peace and love.